Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the full moon in Capricorn happening on the 13th of July 2022 and what it means for your zodiac sign. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for regular astrology updates. So this full moon in Capricorn is happening on the 13th of July 2022 and it is at 21 degrees of Capricorn. So if you have 21 degrees of Capricorn in your chart, be it an angle, be it a placement, this full moon might be particularly significant for you based on what that sign represents in your chart, the house that it's in, and what that planet that you have it at rules. So do look out if you have anything at 21 degrees of Capricorn or Cancer in your chart, because this full moon could be a peak moment for you, but it is going to apply to each of the signs differently. It's good to watch your rising sign for astrology, but you can also watch your sun and your moon, particularly if you do have any placement sun, moon or rising at 21 degrees of Capricorn, Cancer, or even Aries and Libra. If you have 21 degrees of anything, this full moon is likely to be impacting you in some way significantly. Just want to let you all know you can book readings from me. You can book astrology readings, tarot readings, combination of both, and you can also book Reiki healing with me. The details are listed below in the description box. That's the only place you'll be able to get me to book a reading, but I am taking readings for the rest of July. So full moons in Capricorn are a peak moment in the year where we address how we are feeling about the work that we do, the professional image that we have, the professional status that we have, what our status is in society and how we show up to the world. The 10th house is our legacy, and that is what Capricorn represents. So this is who you are to everyone else. And this also represents your long-term goals and objectives. And this full moon, the next full moon, and then the final full moon in September, the next 3 full moons are in the final 3 signs of the zodiac, which means that this is going to be a wrapping up in terms of emotional themes in our life. This is when we look to the future and we look to what it is that we want to achieve. So these full moons are a very good time to catch up on what it is that you really want to be doing for your future and to give you a more of a future-based mindset, because you're probably going to be reviewing around this full moon what you want professionally, what you want in terms of your goals, what you want your status to be, and how you want to be perceived. So this is a great time to evaluate what works and what doesn't, and to change accordingly. Capricorn energy always reminds me of that quote that says, you cannot change the direction of the wind, but you can change the direction of your sails. Whenever I started secondary school here, I had a form teacher who was a Capricorn, and the room was completely plastered with these inspirational quotes, but also these huge pictures of the mountains, which I thought was very appropriate for a mountain goat. But it was all these pictures of mountains and these quotes about what you can control, what you can't control, and how to set your goals accordingly. And it's very Capricorn themed, especially for someone that did not believe in astrology, but very Capricorn-esque. And I think that this full moon is a good time to figure out what you can change in terms of the direction you're taking, rather than what is happening to you, what you can do to make what you want happen. So Capricorn has that kind of energy. It's ambitious, it wants success, and whatever success means to Capricorn, that doesn't have to be to everyone else, but full moons in Capricorn can sometimes make you care what others think that little bit more. Full moons and supermoons in particular, as this one is, are quite emotional, and in Capricorn you can be emotional about your career, your status, your goals, and what you thought you wanted your current timeline to look like, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so it's associated with time. This full moon is trine the North Node, which adds to that direction point, wanting to go after your destiny, wanting to go after your goals, wanting to face your true north. It's opposite the Sun and Mercury, and this, with the Sun and Mercury in Cancer, it's asking you, what inner voice is not helping? What is that inner critic saying? What is the chatter going on around you that is not helping? Whether it's the thoughts you're having, whether it is the affirmations that you have, whether it is what you're saying on a daily basis, whether it is what people around you are saying about you or to you, and how these words are actually affecting you and what you're looking to do. Because it's trine Uranus and sextile Neptune, there can be a lot of beautiful insights around this full moon, so do keep your intuition alert, because you could be receiving some very interesting signs and synchronicities that are giving you a serendipitous sense full moons are very psychic times, but when they aspect Neptune in particular, it can give you a very serendipitous sense of where you're going or what the universe is trying to say to you, what your consciousness, your higher self, all that mumbo jumbo is trying to say to you. And it is conjunct Pluto, and this one's interesting because although it's at 6 degrees, it's still a conjunction, it's still intense. So there is transformation and change afoot in this area. Interestingly enough, we've had a lot coming up in the news lately about world leaders, particularly governmental figures, with the resignation of Boris Johnson and I believe the assassination of a previous Japanese prime minister, and I can't recall the name. I'm not very versed in Japanese politics, but we have had a lot come up in the news surrounding leaders, and with that conjunction to Pluto, that's very intense change, very dramatic change, and oftentimes quite permanent change because it's Pluto, mostly quite permanent change because it's Pluto. So there could be more of that coming up with world leaders and governmental figures in particular, with that conjunction to Pluto, because Capricorn is that leadership, the top-down structures, and Pluto is change. In our own lives, this is where we are committed to changing a goal, a status, something in our life that is in need of a change, a transformation. And the ruler of this full moon, Saturn, is in a beautiful trine to Venus. This is 0 degrees, so it's very particular. It is a lovely time with Saturn trine Venus to commit to something, to commit to this change, to commit to this goal, especially because they're in the air signs. Your thoughts can be very aligned in this way to bringing, with Venus, the love and the beauty and the cooperation into a commitment with Saturn. So this is a very nice full moon for a lot of the signs to commit to something in their lives, whatever that may be. So I'm going to get into each of the individual zodiac signs and what it means for each of you. The timestamps will be listed below. I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising. Aries, this full moon is happening in your 10th house of goals, success, accomplishments, your career. So you could be wrapping up something around this time. Your career is in the spotlight with this full moon. Your goals, what you want for yourself out of life, what you want your status to be, what you want your reputation to be. There could be an accomplishment, there could be a promotion, there could even be wrapping up a career chapter, there could be leaving behind a job. Anything that is just aligning you with what it is that's going to give you more self-confidence, what's going to give you maybe more money, what's going to give you more self-esteem, is really where your mind is at career-wise. What you're looking for is a legacy, an accomplishment that makes you feel fulfilled in terms of your self-confidence, your self-worth, but also probably monetarily. So it might be around this time that you're finding you need to balance out your private life and your public life, and there needs to be some sort of balance between the two. Maybe that you're spending too much time at work and you want to spend more time at home, or maybe that you need to balance out your home and family life and your professional public life in some regard. There could be communication coming up surrounding family because we have the Sun and Mercury conjunct in your 4th house. There could be news surrounding home, property or family matters, and this may need to be balanced out with a particular accomplishment or career goal that is being wrapped up at this time, Aries. Your oracle card is to be fair, meaning that there could be something legal that is getting wrapped up at this time. There could be something being rectified. To be fair is an energy of reconciling differences, apologies, rectifying issues, finding balance in conflict. It's very justice oriented energy, so it's about finding fairness and also evening out the score, as it were. It is your opposite sign energy because it is like justice, so this isn't necessarily something that comes so easy to you, but this full moon, a full moon always requires balance, Aries. So this full moon is asking you to balance something out, whether it is an issue that needs rectified or whether it is a contract or something legal that you also need to address. But this is going to require a bit of a balancing act on your behalf, Aries, to make sure that something comes right in your life. It's a lovely card. It also suggests that owls may be little spiritual signposts for you, maybe giving you signs or appearing as symbols to put you on the right path. That's what I have for you, Aries, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to your forecast. Taurus, this full moon is happening in your 9th house, which is to do with the higher self, higher power, higher education, all that expansive energy where you're looking outward at what is possible in the world. It is also to do with legal affairs. It is also to do with higher education, your university or college status. It is also to do with religion and foreign travel. So these could all be coming up for you around this time. And it is possible that you are maybe letting go of a particular belief system, or you're really immersing yourself in a new belief system, or you're maybe taking a trip around this time. If you are taking a trip around this time, Taurus, that looks quite lovely for you. If it is a short trip, there could be some news related to that comes up around this full moon if it's not very far, but if it is quite far, this might be a time where it really makes you feel connected to yourself and shows you what you need to do and who you're becoming, because it is positively impacting your first house placements with Uranus and the true node. It could be a beautiful insight into who you're becoming. Traveling around this time really might awaken something in you that's going to show you what you want to do next. So this is a lovely full moon for you, Taurus, because it is a fellow earth sign. So as I say, some of you could be graduating if you're in university, some of you could be wrapping up a higher education degree, or you could just be really immersing yourself in your belief systems and maybe, you know, coming to a better understanding of what it is that you believe in, about the universe, about religion, whatever it is. This is really a good time to put your head in a book and start thinking about philosophy or religion and how you are living your life effectively. It's very adventurous. As I say, a good time to take a trip or to plan a trip if that is something that you've not done yet. So your oracle card is Serendipity, which is lovely. There's a shamrock in this, so some of you could indeed be Irish, and if you are, this is a super sign that this is for you. But there's something very serendipitous happening for you, and I love this so much because it's number 18, and the conjunction between Mars, Uranus, and the North Node is at 18 degrees, and it's in your sign, so this is very significant for you. There is something lining up in terms of your destiny, of self with Uranus and the North Node. You could just be having this complete insight, epiphany into who you are, where you're going, who you're becoming, what's next. And I also, dare I say, with the shamrock, I think there's a little bit of luck coming your way, Taurus, which is always nice. That's what I have for you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. So Gemini, this full moon for you is happening in your 8th house. Now the 8th house is a very interesting house. A lot of people get spooked out about it because it is the occult. It is all the spooky things, but it is also a time where you might be coming to some sort of psychological epiphany for yourself, and that is because it is particularly harmoniously aspecting your 12th house placements, Gemini. So you might be getting some really interesting downloads, some very interesting dreams could be popping up. You could be having some psychological awareness, and don't underestimate this because the majority of people lack self-awareness, and it's the awareness of the subconscious that stops you self-sabotaging, repeating patterns, that kind of thing. So I think for a lot of you, you could actually be breaking a particularly damaging cycle or pattern around this time that has maybe been keeping you on a loop. You're finally letting go of something that is self-sabotaging or that is not working for you effectively. And that, again, it might sound small, it's really not. Any harmonious aspects to the 12th house can be really important for you in terms of miracles, basically. And usually a miracle happens because we've had some sort of psychological awareness come up and we think it's a miracle, but it's actually because we've done the inner work. That's what this full moon kind of is for you, in my opinion. And it's also lovely because Venus and Saturn are trining around this time, and Venus is in your sign. Saturn is of course in Aquarius, and that for you is to do with your 9th house. So for some of you, you could be having a beautiful travel experience. You could be finding that something you are learning or something you're studying is boosting your self-confidence and self-esteem. You might also find around this time that a lot of people are very attracted to you. In fact, there could be a very intense attraction comes up for you around this time, or if you're in a relationship, it could be quite a saucy time. So that's nice for you, Gemini. We have for you chaos and conflict, number 33. So 333 could be repeating for you as a sign. But really with this chaos and conflict card, it could just be around this time that some stuff gets brought up, and sometimes whenever something gets brought up subconsciously or emotionally, it comes up to be resolved. It can feel a bit chaotic, and some things can feel worse before they get better. But just know with this card, this is bringing in the kind of change that you want to see in your life. And I also kind of feel with this interesting energy, this is where a zebra is pretending to be a giraffe, and it's breaking out of that. So it might be where you've been putting on a particular mask, or you've been feeling very inauthentic in something in your life. You're stepping into that authenticity, and it's going to be much more successful for you. So that's what I have for you, Gemini, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Cancer, welcome to your horoscope. So Cancer, this full moon is happening in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships, and it is harmonizing quite well with your 11th house of long-term goals, wishes. So it might be around this time, if you're in a relationship, you are setting yourselves up for an aligned goal in the future. It might be that if you're introducing a partner to your friends, it's going to go well, or if there is some sort of group activity with you and a partner, that's also going to go well. Or these issues, if there are any, because full moons can show issues, will come to the surface. So this could be quite an emotional time in a relationship. Sometimes it can cause a bit of conflict in full moons because they are so intense, and it might be in a relationship that it's them, their needs versus your needs, and you want to communicate something to a partner with Mercury there that you'd really like to say. So these things might be coming up around this time, but just know that partnerships are a key theme. They are exposed in the light of the full moon. So sometimes things can come to your attention that you weren't aware of, or it could just be that you're reaching some sort of milestone. Or if you're completely single, somebody might pop up that is quite exciting to you. Someone that feels very familiar. You know, there might be somebody pops up that you're just instantly interested in, attracted to. But I do think for a lot of you that are dating, this is sort of a point where you may decide to make it official, or it might be a point where you decide to talk about the relationship in some capacity, especially with the nodes being an aspect to this full moon. Talking about whether your goals and visions are aligned for the future, that kind of thing. I have the Unfinished Symphony card. So for a lot of you, there might be some stuff that needs to come up to be resolved, or needs to be discussed again or looked at again for you, Cancer, in a relationship, because it just feels like there's something unsaid. And this can be any relationship. It doesn't have to be a spouse, it doesn't have to be a partner, it can be a best friend, but there might be something that comes up for you to revisit, something that needs to be discussed again or looked at again. Or this could be you reaching out to someone from your past, or someone from your past reaching out to you. But that is what I have for you, Cancer, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Leo, Sun, Moon and Rising. So Leo, we're nearly in your season, but for now, let's talk about the full moon in Capricorn. Leo, this full moon in Capricorn is happening for you in your 6th house of work, routine, your schedule, the things that you do in your day-to-day, and also your health. So for you, Leo, this might be a time where you are assessing how you're feeling emotionally and mentally, and also physically. This might be a time where you become very aware of your routines. This might be a time when you become very aware of what you're eating, what your health habits are, how you're looking after yourself, and maybe if something needs to change. You could also be having very insightful spiritual, subconscious, emotional downloads with the Sun and Mercury conjunct in your 12th house. Your dreams could be very telling. This might also be some news comes out of absolutely nowhere that impacts your work, or that could be something that has been missed that comes up in a work-related matter for you, Leo. There is a nice aspect going on between Saturn in your 7th house and Venus in Gemini, which for you is kind of giving me this sense, because Gemini is your 11th house, is like having a really maybe committing to a goal with a partnership or a relationship about the future, or maybe being set up by a friend if you're single, or maybe becoming more romantically interested in a friend or something like this. There seems to be a link that's quite nice around this full moon between your friendships, your groups, and your partnerships. So maybe it's aligning a goal with a partner, or maybe it is talking about the future with a partner, committing to something, or maybe it's being set up by a friend, or realizing that a friend is no longer a friend, they're kind of a romantic interest. So that actually suits your card, Leo, because we have between worlds. So I feel like something is shifting from one end of the spectrum into something else. And I also feel for a lot of you, you've been feeling quite down with the 12th house energy, because it can be quite intense. You're stepping out of the grey into the colour, and you're feeling much more yourself, because this flamingo is wearing a crown, and that suits you down to the ground. So that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to your full moon in Capricorn forecast. So Virgo, this is lovely because this is in your 5th house of fun, romance, creation, fertility, all the things that you want to develop. There's something sprouting around this time. There's something developing. There's some kind of harvest. Something is growing. Something is showing. Maybe some of you are actually giving birth around this time. Maybe some of you are conceiving around this time. Maybe some of you are having significant news regarding your children at this time, especially if they are involved in some sort of group project or group activity. It could just be something as simple as having to take your kids to a birthday party. Full moons aren't always extravagant, but this full moon is highlighting all the joy and the fun and the creativity in your life, and it is opposing your 11th house of social matters, friendships, and shared goals. So with this full moon, it's putting an emphasis on the energy of the 5th house, and these are your personal preferences. These are the things that personally give you joy. So there's sort of a time where you might be getting a lot of news regarding a group endeavors, regarding friends. There could be a party you're attending around this time for a friend, or there could be some sort of social group, social club, social activity you're a member of, and there's some sort of key event or a night out, or creative project or something around this time that's coming to the fore. This is a beautiful full moon for a date romantically. If you're interested in someone to go out, it's a beautiful time to be out and about in general. Very social, very fun, very gregarious for you, Virgo. So it's a lovely time to just enjoy yourself and wrap yourself up in things that make you happy. It could also be that if you are dating, you might decide whether or not you want to take it further, if it's working, if it's for you, but you could find yourself very popular at this time if you are single. There's harmonious aspects happening as well with the Taurian energy for you, which is to do with travel, it's to do with your higher self, it's to do with your higher mindset. So it might be that you're noticing that your optimism or your insights or your interests are really attracting other people to you, or some sort of travel adventure is giving you a creative boost and you're creating something, Virgo. You got the card by the book, number 11. So I feel like 1111 is very significant to you. Lord knows it's significant to like 99% of the people that watch anything astrology or tarot related, but it's particularly significant to you. It has a message for you, and what it is saying to you is that it's time to abide by the rules. Now I know, Virgo, you're typically a bit of a rule abider in some capacity in your life. You like to do things organized and in a particular order a lot of the time. This is what it means though. This is more referring to the law of attraction, the laws of nature. It's asking you to commit to a particular belief practice, and to, when you see 1111, to make a wish, to manifest, but also to watch your thoughts and abide by the rules of the law of attraction in the universe. It's kind of like a little inside joke for you guys. And also you might be getting signs in the form of elephants to let you know that you're on the right path, or another reminder to follow a little bit more of the law of attraction. It's a good time for manifesting because it is Cancer season, and that's your 11th house, which is putting a lot of focus on manifestation, because that is the house of good fortune. So you can bet that if you're doing something creative, or you're doing something romantic, or something that you really want to grow and develop around this time, the law of attraction will be your friend. That's what I have for you, Virgo, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising. Libra, this full moon in Capricorn is happening for you in your 4th house. So this is putting a lot of emphasis onto home and family matters, your living situation, your family relationships. And it is going to be a time where you're balancing out your home and family with your career. Your private life and your public life needs some sort of balance, because it could be quite a busy time career-wise for you. Especially your boss could be asking a lot of you or communicating a lot to you, and you might be finding that you're missing out on some family activities, and you really want to put a bit more emphasis into your home and family life and your private life. This also is a time for you, Libra, where you might be more nostalgic or thinking about the past in some capacity, and this may be in conflict with a future goal. So for you, Libra, this is a great time to just hone out at home, to just wrap yourself up, to be cozy, to spend time with your family. This might also be a time where if you're planning to move, something comes to fruition around this time, something significant comes up, like the move itself, like the sale of a house, like the purchase of a house. These things are sort of flagging up for you, Libra, as pretty significant. It's worth noting as well that this is all harmonizing with the Taurus activity, so Uranus being there and the true node being there, and because they're connected, there's a point of destiny. If you want more on that, you can watch my July horoscope video, But for you, Taurus is to do with the 8th house, it's to do with intimacy, it is to do with connection, but it's also to do with psychological exploration. So you could be kind of finding around this time, Libra, that something to do with home and family resonates to the surface, and you find that you're having some sort of psychological awareness, analysis, epiphany that's going to help put you on your journey of change and transformation. Your oracle card is to the sea. So this is a little fairy creature on a boat. This could actually mean that you're spending time out on the ocean. I find this kind of funny because I'm a sidereal Libra and I am going to be out in a boat at the time of this filming. But to the sea is sort of about exploring your emotions. 4th house is very emotional energy, so you might be exploring your feelings on something. You might just be trying to spend more time by the ocean. It might be quite grounding for you. Bodies of water could be significant around this time in a way of recharging. It could also be that phrases about boats like, you know, this ship has sailed, or is on your boat actually saying itself? I don't know, but just boats on the ocean are pretty significant for you around this time, Libra. But for the most part, I think this is to do with exploring your emotions and maybe just seeing how you're feeling, checking in with yourself, because as air signs, sometimes it can be hard to have those emotional check-ins, and it's a good time to do so. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Scorpio. So Scorpio, this full moon is happening in your 3rd house of communication. It is to do with your siblings, it is to do with your neighbours, and it is to do with your mental health. So this can be a time for you, Scorpio, where you are noticing your thoughts, noticing your words more, and seeing what it is that you're putting out there around this time. 3rd house full moons can also be a key time of communication, so you could be hearing something quite interesting around this time, and that could be linked to partnerships because of the Taurus energy, the North Node in Uranus. You could be getting an unexpected message from somebody. It could be a best friend, it could be a partner, it could be a key relationship in your life. There could be some sort of news comes up around this time. The news could be to do as well with a sibling or a neighbor around this time, or if you're having issues with a neighbor or a sibling, it might reach a peak around this time, or there might be some sort of breakthrough with a sibling or a neighbor. You could also be traveling around this time. It's a great time to take a short trip, to take a road trip, to take some sort of journey in order to recharge yourself, and be a trip out in nature, going somewhere a bit different and just exploring what it is that your thoughts are telling you, what your mindset is telling you. It's a good time to check back in with what it is that your predominant thought system is. And also, if you have a particular message to the world, Scorpio, this might be a time when you're putting it out there. There could be some sort of announcement, there could be something that you want to declare or you want to say to somebody else, in particular in your life, Scorpio. So this could be quite a significant time for you in terms of news, in terms of communication. If you're writing something, if you're involved in some sort of, you know, media project or marketing project, or you've written a piece, this could be a time when you're putting it out there to the world. You have the Yin card, Scorpio, which I really like because this is about receiving some sort of blessing. This is very feminine energy. It is the number 2, so it can focus on your relationships. But I do feel like you're in an energy of receiving something. So for a lot of you, that could be receiving a message, that could be receiving communication, or that could just be receiving, Scorpio, some kind of manifestation in your life, something coming to you, something making its way to you rather than you aggressively pursuing it. So that's pretty interesting, Scorpio. Let me know how that goes. I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. So Sagittarius, this full moon for you is happening in your 2nd house of money. It's also the house of confidence and your morals and beliefs and values, more so your values. It's also where you get your confidence. This full moon could be exposing your finances in some way to you, your spending habits, the money that you're making. You could be getting paid in some regards. Some money could be making its way to you. With the conjunction to Pluto, it could be that you're making a big expenditure around this time. Maybe you're spending a lot more money, or maybe you're actually making a lot more money, or maybe you're receiving a lot of money with Pluto there, because Pluto can be very transformational, so it can really transform your bank account. And I also feel like there could be some sort of news coming for you financially. So this really puts finances and money into the spotlight. For some of you, it could be getting a bonus. For some of you, it could be getting a pay rise. For some of you, it could be a windfall, I suppose. But with Jupiter not so much in the picture, I think it's more to do with a significant change, you know, a transformation coming to you. So your money is in the picture. It might also bring up some issues surrounding self-confidence and self-worth. If you've been struggling with these lately, the full moon can expose any issues here, typically what lies beneath the surface. So if you're having a particular, you know, values issue or self-worth or self-confidence issue, this full moon can be a time to expose it. It might also be a time that you get a confidence boost, which is pretty nice because it is well aspected to the Taurus placements, which for you are 6th house, meaning that you might be getting your confidence increased by something you've been doing health-wise or something you've been doing work-wise, Sagittarius. But this is putting these areas into the spotlight for you. Your financial affairs, the money that you make, your income, all of it could be subject to change around this time, or it could be subject to a bit of emotional energy, a bit of emotional fluctuation, and realizing how you feel about your money. Sometimes full moons can lead to emotional spending, so watch out for that. But your oracle card is actually the community card, which is interesting, Sagittarius, because we do have the ruler of this full moon in your 3rd house, which is to do with community. And I think for you, with its link to Venus in your 7th house, a lot of you could find around this time that you're really bonding with people. You're really, you know, you could make a new best friend in some sort of community effort, spending time with people in your community, spending time with others, maybe taking a short trip with people, but really connecting to other people around this time, Sagittarius, is pretty important to you, because I feel that the people you're surrounding yourself with at this time, especially the ones you work with, could have some key purpose in your destiny. And I think with this community card, if you have an occasion to go to where you can socialize as a group or mix with people who have a shared value or shared belief system to you, this is a really positive time to do so, because you never know, especially if you're single, who you might meet. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Capricorn, welcome to the full moon in your sign. So Capricorn, your status, who you are, your personality, your personal goals, it's all in the spotlight around this time, and it is conjunct Pluto, so you might be changing your image some way. You might be changing your, just who you are is changing effectively. Who you are, how you look, how you style yourself, how you identify, all of it is changing in some capacity, Capricorn, and it could be quite exciting. For a lot of you, this could be that you are trying a new style, maybe you're trying a new hairdo, maybe you're trying a new way of dressing, maybe you're trying a new way of presenting yourself, or maybe you're just realizing how much you've changed around this time. It can also be quite an emotional time for you, Capricorn, because it is in your sign and it is a supermoon, so feelings might be coming to the surface, and it might be particularly tender for you. Now, it is opposite Mercury and the Sun in your 7th house, so your relationship status could be changing around this time, or it could be that in terms of your relationship, some matters are coming to the fore. Also around this time, your ruler Saturn is trining Venus, so it's a lovely time to commit to something for you. Now, Saturn is in your financial sector, and Venus in Gemini is in your 6th house of work and routine. So it could be for you that you're making some sort of commitment in work that is going to pay off in the long run. So something could be changing work-wise around this time too, that maybe gives you more responsibility, Capricorn. Your oracle card is Come to the Edge, and it's lovely because she's in this white dress and there's a lot of hearts. So some of you could be getting married around this time. Some of you could be even getting engaged around this time. But I feel like for a lot of you, you're just on the edge of something you really want, like a personal goal or a personal wish. So that's quite exciting for you, Capricorn. You might be realizing something you really want around this time, or it might be happening to you, or you might be diving into something that you've really wanted for a long time. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the full moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Aquarius, 12th house full moons are usually quite intense. This can be a time where a lot of emotions come to the surface. Your dreams can be very vivid. You could be realizing something you need to let go of. You could be releasing some feelings, releasing some attachments around this time. With this full moon being in the 12th house, sometimes it can be a moment where we realize what is not for us, because this can be the 12th house of hidden enemies, of self-undoing. So you might be realizing a habit or something you've been doing or turning a blind eye to. You simply can't do that anymore. You're realizing you need to let it go. So that is sort of what's coming up for you in an emotional sense, Aquarius, around this time. You might just be feeling more introverted as well. You want to spend more time alone. You might need more time to recharge in nature. Could also be that something's coming to the surface secretly that you didn't know in terms of your work life with your colleagues, what you do for your day job. It can also be that something's coming to the fore in a health matter. Maybe there's something that's you're realizing is very emotionally linked, or maybe around this time you're actually doing something for yourself that is holistic, healing. You're doing something like reflexology or Reiki. You're doing something for yourself that's going to help you heal, Aquarius. I have the card not for you, and the little fortune cookie says nope. So I feel like you are letting go of something that doesn't resonate with you anymore, something that is just not worth getting involved in, because this fortune cookie is in the middle of a chess game. So you're not interested in playing any kind of games around this time. You're not interested in anything that is too tactical or anything that is too manipulative, Aquarius. You just want some downtime, I think, and some time alone, and you want to release some kind of burden. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to your forecast for this Aquarius woman, Capricorn full moon. Aquarius is next month. Pisces, this full moon is in your 11th house, and this focuses on friendships. It focuses on wish fulfillment and good fortune. This full moon is quite lucky for you, Pisces, so please make a wish. Look at the moon dead in the eyes and make a wish and say, this is what I want. Moon, will you grant me this? You know, talk to the moon. You're Pisces, you should be doing that. But this full moon could be a time when a wish is granted or something sort of manifests. Maybe you've been trying to get to happen for quite a long time. With the conjunction to Pluto, dare I say, something could be wrapping up in a group project, or you could really be realizing you no longer resonate with a particular friend or a particular group of people, and there could be something coming to the surface regarding a friendship or a group of people. This could also, at the same token, Pisces, be time where you're spending a lot of time and fun activities with a group of friends, or you're finding a soul tribe or where you belong, or there's some sort of team activity, or just a really poignant moment with a friendship. Maybe sharing of emotions and saying, you know, you've just been the best friend ever, you know, like that lovely exchange, that heartfelt stuff that comes up from time to time could be happening for you, Pisces. With the Sun and Mercury in your 5th house, I also feel for a lot of you, you could be having some sort of wish fulfillment romantically, or there could actually be a realization that a friendship has become romantic, or vice versa. But I think it's more to do with the fact that maybe there's something coming up romantically for you. It's a nice time for a date. Pisces in particular, there's also a lovely meetup between Saturn and Venus connecting in your very emotional 12th and 4th house, meaning that there could actually be some sort of healing you've done, that you've been doing, and the trine to Venus is showing you how this is going to benefit you in terms of your home and family affairs going forward. Maybe you've realized some sort of subconscious block to concepts of home and family, and now you're ready to commit to something. You got the Peace card, 23. There's a dove here with an olive branch. So I think for a lot of you, you could be seeing white feathers in very unusual places. I do think for a lot of you, Pisces, you could be getting a peace offering, an apology, making peace with somebody, reconciling with somebody, or just choosing peace in some sort of situation. I do feel with the egg here, it's like there is something in your life where making peace with a situation is birthing a new way of living, or maybe, as I say, you're having a new beginning with someone or something that you have been at odds with, and that's what that olive branch is about. But I do think a lot of you with that bird flying and with the olive branch could be receiving an apology, could be giving an apology, or could be having some sort of rectification or reconciliation in your life. That could be focused on friendships, but if that's been something you've been wishing for, it might materialize around this full moon. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. I will talk to you soon. Bye.